Hey everybody, I just spent a whole lot of time trying to create a 3-minute video. I couldn't figure out how to use YouTube, I guess, but switching gears because it is not all gonna fit in 3 minutes, I'm telling you. I'm gonna walk you around the property. It's been a couple of months. We're gonna start with my chair tree. We named it that for obvious reasons, and that's where I also keep all of my excess, just random bricks and stones so that I can overturn them for the ducks to get all the insects that live underneath them when they sit there in a pile. So that's actually beneficial to me. It's not just a mess. I use it to get the ducks extra insects. Those ducks right there. But another thing, I'm glad I don't have to go quick now. That 3-minute thing was miserable. Okay, so in here, asparagus, I did not plant that. I see online all the time about how massive that root ball must be under the ground, so I don't dare try to move it. In fact, I'm trying to get it to reseed so I can get more stalks, actually, just like with no work at all. That's my hope. So I do have a second one there. I just come over and kind of shake it, but it is tall as all get out. That right there is where the baby ducks were living this whole time with a tarp over it, but they are now over here. Let's go see some ducks. So this is where there was a pen for the adult ducks, and now this whole thing is wide open for them to run around, do whatever they want. This is the baby duck area here, and they are just so happy. Oh, you can see one of my barn cats is way back there. That is Tiny Cat. He was born under my neighbor's house. Anyway, so this is where the baby ducks got moved to yesterday so that they can start their summer off right in the shade here. And this fig tree I want to kind of highlight because I have never in my life, or I can't say in my life because I've only been the proud owner of a fig tree for a couple years since I bought this place. I actually have two that I take care of. This is the one that's behind the shed, and I had no idea that lopping it down the way that I did after the hurricane was going to create this kind of growth, and it is absolutely amazing and impressive. I love it. Coming around here, I was gifted, or we bartered, some veggies for some muscadine grapes. So I decided that this crepe myrtle would be a really good home for my new grapevines. So I weaved about 10 foot on either side through the branches of the crepe myrtle, and that should do just fine. Literally stuck it in the ground, added a plant food spike. I just have the bucket here to keep the ducks away from it while it roots. But I have really good luck literally sticking things in the ground and they grow. So, and of course a lot of that's because my precious ducks have fertilized everywhere around here. Azalea props, these guys are a few months old, and you can see we do have success. So anything with green on it has rooted, and everything else is either still in some sort of dormancy or is completely dead. But that's okay. That was an experiment to create multicolored azalea bushes. So that's why they're experiments, right? The magnolias that I tried to prop, those are dead. Who cares? Back here we got all the corn coming in. Those do not mind the chaos whatsoever. This is my chaos garden. This is completely, I wouldn't say completely, but essentially it's effortless, and it's my first go at chaos gardening. Eventually I want to do a whole no dig. I just keep focusing on this one. Zucchini, who came up just minding his own business. Nobody put him there or anything. That was where the zucchini plants were planted last year. So that actually came back as a perennial. And no, I mean, it's just one of life's amazing mysteries. I will not complain about stuff I didn't plant. So coming in here, it looks like chaos, but there is food everywhere. So got all kinds of carrots coming in all the way down. Carrots. Obviously my husband and I, this is our garden and we know where we can step, but if someone unfamiliar were to come over, they could definitely trample on some things. Over here, I want to show you. Again, it looks like there's nothing going on, right? But then you see things like this. That is either cabbage or broccoli. I don't remember what I put there. I never mark anything. I just think the mystery is so fun. I know I'm weird, but that's all right. The biggest of the sunflowers over there. Those peas were harvested today for dinner tonight. We got more sunflower in the back over there. The bell peppers and tomatoes both failed. They did not appreciate the chaos in the ground cover, so now I know. Got herbs over here, my dill, parsley, and basil. All the stuff we need. More sunflower coming in beautifully over here. This is my favorite part of my garden because it's just so alive and large. It's larger than life over here, and I love it. So we have cucumber that's going to actually come over and trellis the chain link fence over. Oh, honeysuckle. It smells phenomenal, but it's taking over. It might become a problem, but right now I'm enjoying it. This is pumpkin here. No, it's not. That is cantaloupe. Look. Look at oh, babies in there. I just spotted those this morning, so that's super exciting. That is zucchini that gets too large for its britches. Anybody who grows zucchini knows that. This is pumpkin starting to run away, perfect as it should. That is summer squash right there. It's all right. Watermelons. I got two really good plants and a couple that aren't so happy. That right there is my workstation, like where I keep everything I could need when I'm back here. That's a little flower experiment there. Those are tomatoes that got reseeded recently because, of course, tomatoes are essential. My Brussels, bells, and eggplant also did not appreciate the chaos garden over here, so they are repotted. Once they come up a little bigger than these, I will get them transplanted and keep them in an area that's weed free, because now we know these sunflowers, these were actually growing in the grass due to chicken feed. The scratch that I was throwing out for the chickens, it actually grew. So I dug those out to give them a chance at life. This, again, you can see big duck area, small ducks in the back until they get bigger. This mess just needs to be cleaned up. And this is my blackberries. The chair tree is actually a China berry, part of it. So if you could see, the whole top is covered with what hits the ground to look like snow. So it's very cool. But yeah, blackberry bramble. It has its own set of issues. About a month ago, I came out here, and I'm out here every day, but it was a pretty sad day when I realized all of my blackberries had been overtaken by orange rust. You can still see some of it. It's not supposed to be curable or treatable, but something's happening, and I want to say it's the honeysuckle. So the honeysuckle found its way all the way through the bramble. It's laying atop of the whole thing, and for whatever reason, it's helping with the orange rust. So it still has to be cut back regardless, and we will deal with that. Look, slowly but surely, for real. That's just my hedge trimmer, just a few feet at a time. If anybody knows what this is, some sort of houseplant that somebody just stuck in the ground at some point 10, 20 years ago, who knows, but it's there. This, I'd love to know what this one is too, but despite all of my Google searching, I just can't come up with an answer for that guy, so I'm leaving it there until I figure it out, because my guess is it's medicinal. It certainly looks like it, so leaving it there. This is my mulberry tree, and it was yesterday just an entire mess of of trees. So this was the main mulberry stock here, and those are now propped stalks. I've been able to prop and grow all my other trees just by simply jamming them in the ground and adding a plant food stake. So that's what I've done here. We cut away the trees that weren't mulberry, got rid of those. Obviously, big pile of brush back there. That's all waste. But yeah, hopefully this is going to come in like the fig did and just really, really recover and be healthier than it ever was. That's where the baby ducks used to be. There's a new little ad over here. I bartered and received some ornamental grass, and I just happen to have 2 massive holes. I don't know what animal, groundhog, gopher, whatever the heck, came through here, but there were 2 massive holes. And for anybody who pays for a homeowner's insurance policy, you know, you can't just leave those there. So it actually worked out perfectly because the ornamental grass, I dropped it right in and filled it with soil. I'm forever finding taro. So this guy was out front this morning, and I've already potted all the rest of the taro root that I've found. And this one's going to be similar to an elephant ear, but it's growing wild on my property. And I keep trying to grab it and put it somewhere that I can really pay attention to it. There's a big potted one in my office that's got to be 4 foot tall already. And I just want to see what one does out in the wild. So I'm going to let this baby go that I found this morning. I put it right in this new nutrient-rich soil that's already here for the ornamental grass to come back. It's just dormant. It's not dead. Good thing to remember is things are hardly ever actually dead. They can always be brought back with love. So this brush area, super unfortunate. A couple weeks ago, there is a snake living in here, a rat snake, and up north we had to worry about like your water moccasins and things like that. But I came out one night to find one of my ducklings had been captured by this rat snake. So this all needs to get cleaned up. It's a threat, and I don't like threats to my property. We're circling back around. That's my cherry tree and my asparagus. I just love this little shade area for the ducks here, and again, they come in and just pick away at it. Just redid this whole fenced area yesterday. That's the mulberry branches that are still covered in unripened berries. I had to lop them all down. That's literally the only growth that poor tree had, but I didn't want to waste them, so I piled it up for the ducks to just go in there and eat what they want. Starting a new compost bin. All of that's going to go in. That's all duck poop. Very, very, very rich fertilizer in there from the baby ducks. They were there about 4 weeks, so all of that's going to get dug up, added into the compost bin. As that decomposes, obviously turn it, and that's what I use to feed my garden. But yeah, so all right, it was fun giving you guys an update. I'm glad nobody else is here to watch me because I feel a little bit silly, but yeah, this is just the backyard. There's a lot going on out front too, but I wanted to show everybody because it had been a while, and I think we're making some really good progress over here, and still a lot to do, a lot to add, a lot to watch. The adult ducks go right up there to hang out with the dogs, so they'll be very, very close. One of my ducks, Willow, actually charges at my blue nose pit bull through that fence right there. It's pretty impressive. He thinks he's 10 feet tall. But all right, well, I will see you guys another time when I have a lot more updates to give you. Okay, bye.